I survived a match with Andre the Giant. He took me up in a big vertical suplex, and not only was I scared to death, I mean, my toes curled up inside my boots. But when we got down there, I learned gravity is real. And how many of those can you take? I was at somebody's house, and they were watching television. They were clicking through the channels, and I said, whoa, there's Tony Little, and look what he's doing. And when I saw that machine, the first thing that I looked at is, number one, low impact. It's gentle on the joints. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Because no matter how often you use it, you want to use it more. You get addicted to it, really. And if I can possibly be an inspiration to others the way Tony Little has been an inspiration to me, get on the phone, get your Gazelle.
It is Sunday night, and you know what that means. You know what? I've been meaning to get a special Sunday classic watch-along intro made for this segment for like a year and a half, and I just haven't gone about doing it. I got the night off tonight, maybe after the watch-along tonight. I will get that done, and we can have a new intro next week. Stay tuned. But yeah, it is Sunday. Thank you for that, Mike Rouse. Good to see you. Welcome back. It's Halloween Havoc October, as we're busting out a bunch of these Halloween Havocs. 1993 was last Sunday, 1994 tonight. Now, 1993 last week was an incredible card. I just couldn't believe how star-studded it was. This one's a little shorter, but with a lot of major stuff going down, including the main event, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan cage match. Hogan had just beaten Flair for the title at Bash at the Beach, I believe, in 94 when he came in. And this was going to be like a loser retires match or something like that for Hogan and Flair. And this was about, I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months before Randy Savage made the jump as well to WCW. And times were a-changing right around this time when yours truly began his senior year in high school. So, yeah, we're going way back, way back, 29 years ago. Yeah, 29. My math is right. Good to see you guys. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. Let's say hi to people in the chat, hang out for a minute, and then we will get going. We got Tatanani up in here. We've got JJ Leg, OG. Yeah, we're going. I was just making sure my volume and sound was working. We're all good. Good to see Zach in the house. What's up? You found the Fiend emoji. Still working on adding more emojis and all that good stuff. What's going on? We Are Pro Wrestling. Oh, yeah, Mike Rouse. You didn't have to look up Halloween Havoc 94 because we watched 93 last week. Funny you said that because I just pulled up Peacock and I haven't pulled up Peacock since last Sunday. So although Halloween Havocs were right there, I'm like, sweet. You didn't even have to search for it or go through any hassle at all. That's kind of nice. And yes, as of now, the plan is to do 1999 next week. We already have the link up for that and everything. But from what I understand, it's a really shitty show. So there's plenty of time for me to change the thumbnail and the title on that live stream. We could always do a different one next week if you like. But right now, we're going to do 1999 next Sunday, which is just a couple of days before Halloween. And then we will be on to Survivor Series in November to bust out a bunch of those that we haven't gotten to yet in November. But good to see you as always. Ray Frand, We Are Pro Wrestling is here. We have the Juliet. I'm glad you're here. Awful day of football. I barely paid attention. Did the fucking Lions play today? What's their deal? We got David Brown is here and George Morris with his token 5. Thanks, dude. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? How is Tito? Halloween Havoc 94, 10 out of 10. You were 14 years old watching live. Everyone was talking about it at school. Yeah, I did not. I don't think I ordered this one. No, I definitely did not. I don't remember talking about it at school. I was a senior. I was kind of a closet wrestling fan as a senior in high school around 1994. Still a lot of silly, weird, goofy ass gimmicks. So I wasn't advertising it too much. But that's cool that you ordered this. I did not. I only read about it in the magazine. So this will be fun. But as always, dude, thanks for being here. Tito is great. He looks an awful lot like your cat in your profile picture there. Maybe they're brothers or sisters or something. I don't know. Mike, I got you already. Zach Powgett, you're ready for the Havoc. We got Big J is here as well. Brandon McNeil, did I get you? Racky Bull, good to see you as well. Have you seen the trailer for the Iron Claw movie? Yes, I have. It looks great and sad. Definitely going to be taking a look at that when that comes out. Brandon Barnes and the rest of you, thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. I do have the Sunday night game pulled up. It looks like it's Dolphins-Eagles, I think. My sister was in Kansas City for the Chiefs game today. Her husband is from there, so they were at the game today. But I have not really looked at much football today. I have lost 4 straight in fantasy. I'm officially in. I'm not going to set my lineup anymore mode, and completely don't give a shit about fantasy at all. Didn't want to be in it to begin with, so I'm kind of glad I went on a losing streak, so I don't have to stress about it. Now I can just live my life the way Jesus intended. You know what I mean? But anyway, hopefully you guys have been going over to your Peacocks, your respective Peacocks, and pulled up your Halloween Havoc. If you weren't here with us last week, you're going to want to go to Halloween Havoc, Season 6, Episode 1, runtime, according to Peacock, 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 11 seconds. So that's what we're looking at here. And yeah, we'll hit play together in just a second. Let me knock out this super chat from our good friend, Chris Ludek. Thank you, dude, for that $9.99. I'm glad you chose this Halloween Havoc because I remember as a kid having no clue who the mask guy was who attacked Hogan. P.S. I got a job, and I'll be staying in Orange County. Right on. Happy to hear that, Chris. Hanging out, staying up there, excuse me, and not having to deal with too much hassle with that. Congrats on the job. I forgot the mask guy. What the hell happens in this? Maybe I think is this the thing where Flair is the mask guy? Is it something like that? I've kind of forgotten. I kind of forgot what they did here. So this is going to be kind of all new to me. So we will be watching this together, but I don't recall. I mean, I remember the mask guy, but I don't remember what the payoff was. I know this retirement that Ric Flair enters into doesn't last at all, but I don't recall the timeline of events. And like I said, I think we were just about a month or so away from getting Savage in. I was not really paying attention to WCW in 94. I mean, I knew Hogan was there and I was watching what they were doing, but I was much more a WWE guy, fangirl, if you will. Damn, well, did they win or lose? I got to know this. So the Lions played the Ravens. You're a Ravens season ticket holder. Did we beat you or did we lose to you? I don't even know. I haven't even looked at one single fucking score today. That's how out of the loop I am with everything. So I'm not out of the loop with wrestling. We're ready to rock and roll on this. So why don't you guys get your fingers ready? We will do a countdown from 3 and hit play together here on Halloween Havoc 1994. You guys know the drill. Once I do that, the timer right below me will begin to run. That way, if you experience an interruption or you have to stop or pause or do anything like that, or your TV explodes, you can just come back, sync up your Peacock with the timer. I'll do the same. And that's how we do it here on this channel. So if you guys are ready, we are going to hit play together. I just got to get my fingers lined up on the respective little buttons. There we go. Got it on the timer. Got it on the play button. I'm ready to rock and roll. All right, it's time. 3, 2, 1, play. My counting might not have been perfect there, but hopefully we all hit play within the same time period there. My Halloween Havoc did not start playing, but never fear, I'll catch up. Okay. Resume. There we go. Watch from the start. There we go. All right, we are good. I'm just waiting to get caught up here. I just need this to go 2 more seconds. Looks like we got another brilliant video package here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm ready to rock. Almost. Boom. Okay, there we go. Just took me a minute to sync up because when I hit play on Peacock, it didn't play. So I had to get my timer set up. And we got Bobby Heenan in a neck brace. We got Mean Gene and Shivani. Look at these guys. Oh, is this it? What arena is this? That almost looks like Joe Louis, but I don't think it is. Oh, it is Joe Louis. So so this is also in Detroit? Wasn't the following year's Halloween Havoc in Detroit with the monster trucks and Cobo Hall and all that? This is at the Joe, I believe. I recognize the Joe Louis easily with those railings. I'll be damned. Bobby Heenan's running through history in Motown here. Wrestling history, that is. Nancy Kerrigan was intact in Detroit? I didn't know that either. Wow, this is at the Joe. 14,000 people at the Joe. I got backstage at WWE in that building. Fun stuff, man. There was no storyline reason for Bobby to have that on, was there? He didn't get attacked, did he? I thought he pretty much remained, he stayed out of the way in WCW, never really got physical. Chris Cruz. To me, this was so mind-blowing to me, just seeing like Bobby and Gene there. The previous Halloween Havoc, which we just watched, Tony Schiavone had the bald cap, dressed like Jesse Ventura. Now he's gone. Bobby and Gene are in. Very strange. Very crazy. Who the fuck is this? No music. He's just belting this one out. Good for him. Who is he? I don't recognize him. Oh, Jesus. We got our asses kicked. 38-6. Yikes. I think we let the Ravens win because sometimes you got to let a crappy city like Baltimore have a little something, you know? It's probably just Detroit being nice. That would be my guess. I'm loving his shirt. I don't know what's going on with it. It's either really dirty or I'm tripping. Even weird for 94. Look at that guy. Oh, God. Yeah, Muhammad Ali is here, right? There he is. Rest in peace to the greatest of all time. Mr. T is the something referee maybe in this, right? Cage match. All right. Boy, 94 too. Red Wings were getting good, but they hadn't made it. They hadn't won the cup yet. I don't think they would win until 97, but they were about to start their brutal feud with the Avalanche. Oh, it's Honky Tonk Man. I forgot. And he's got all new music, and I'm pretty sure this is like one of his only matches in WCW. We Are Pro Wrestling. How many appearances did we get out of Honky? And he's got a new song, so I don't know if they produced this for his WCW run, I suppose. Still wearing his WWE jumpsuit, though, from 91 or 2. I just feel like Honky got a job because of Hogan. They go way back, Honky and Hogan. Honky came in as a babyface. I think Hogan even helped bring him in WWE back then. Hey, Johnny B. Bad. WCW, we talked about this last week. Johnny B. Bad, Steiners, Sting. They all had these like custom. I guess Mero's wearing vampire teeth there. That's kind of funny. So it's Little Richard versus Elvis. Okay, I'll take it. See this? He more resembles like 1996 Mark Mero here. God, it's so crazy to see Honky. That's funny because he was the first guy I met and got a picture with when I was backstage in that very building was Mark Mero in WWE. They had me beat a bunch of guys, but him and Sable were the first. Johnny B. Bad, he's still got another year and a half in that company before he bounces out. He was going to get the bad blaster, y'all. I don't want it. Y'all want it? I don't want a bad blaster. Don't blast me, Johnny B. Yeah, Honky's run. I remember when he came in. I remember seeing him on TV, like just turning on WCW one day and seeing him and just kind of rolling my eyes. I'm like, well, there goes another one, along with One Man Gang and Boss Man and Earthquake and Savage and Duggan and everybody just followed Hogan there. So it wasn't surprising to me to see Honky in WCW. I think the more surprising part was how short his run there was. That guy, they've shown him like 3 times, a bald hair, mustache, and a shirt and tie. He looks like a 48-year-old virgin accountant. He's in the front row there soaking up screen time. Look at that guy getting that shit out of his comb over. Oh, Honky's got the he ain't going to be the longest reigning TV champion of all time. That's for sure. He's promised Peggy Sue. Honky Tonk Man on a WCW pay-per-view. Well, King Kong Bundy, Ramon, he would have gone to WCW if Vince didn't bring him back, but Bundy was in WWE. He came back in 94, right around the same time. He was actually debuting in WWE right around this time, fall of 94. Maybe summer. I remember reading about King Kong Bundy's impending return to the company from Vic Venom in the WWF magazine, maybe earlier on in the summer, probably when they signed Bundy. They put out the article, Vic Venom, with his backstage exclusives. And he mentioned Bundy. He used to tease a lot, too. The same year, around 94, Vic Venom, who was Vince Russo, who used to write for the WWF magazine, started teasing Demolition a lot, like several times, to the point as a fan where I thought a return was imminent. But I'm like, well, Barry Darso's here in WCW, so I didn't know how that was going to work, but I was like, well, maybe Crush is involved. But he kept teasing that, and then we never got Demolition back in the WWE. Hmm. I mean, this is a very rare sight that we're looking at. You know, there's only a couple of examples of Honky in a WCW ring. Oh, messed up the hair. Honky did a really good job of maintaining his look, size, and weight. Like he very rarely changed. We got Sting at the hotline with Mike Tenay. But Honky was never really a body guy or anything, but he always like Lawler. Lawler was the same way. They stayed, regardless of what age they were, relatively unchanged, you know, in their physical appearance. That's impressive. Okay, so it looks like Honky's run here will last until Starrcade. Something happens at Starrcade. And the disagreement with Bischoff, I think. That's right. I remember Bischoff talking about this. He's talked about this before. Him and Honky didn't get along. He fired Honky Tonk Man for some reason. But yeah, okay. So he was there about maybe 4 months in WCW in 94. Yeah, I know, Michael. I don't know what WWE was thinking that a gimmick like that would get over as a face anyway. I remember thinking it was silly as shit. Oh, I'm thrilled about Impact going back to the TNA name. Yeah, I heard about that last night. Now, if we can just get WWF back, that would be even more awesome. But good for them. I mean, at this point, you know, a company like Impact, what can it hurt? You know, wrestling fans love nostalgia. I do. It's a big driving. That's the whole reason we're doing this every damn Sunday is because I like this shit. So I'm all for that decision. I was never a big TNA fan, never a big Impact fan either. But if I was a big fan of them and somebody that have a lot of fond memories of watching them during their glory days and whatnot, this would be a big deal to me. So I'm happy for those fans. Look at that woman talking smack in the front row. That blonde. She's wearing all gold. Got a Johnny B. Bad sign. That's definitely not Sable. Might be Sable's grandma. Love Muhammad Ali there, right front and center, too. I guess since Jimmy Hart was there, I would assume that Jimmy Hart helped compose that new Honky Tonk Man theme, I guess. Probably. What's up, Jose? No, you've only missed a little bit of Honky and Johnny. We got Little Richard versus Elvis in the ring right now. We got George on the outside taking pictures. Always good to see him. Home of the Detroit Red Wings. Damn right it is, or it was. Big body slam by Johnny. Oof. Trying to think, like in 2 years or 3 years' time, did we ever get any like Mark Marrow versus Rockabilly matches? Probably not. Marrow was injured in 97. So I don't know if Honky and Marrow ever crossed paths in WWE a couple years later. Probably not. Because I think when they brought Honky back in like 97-ish, Mero had gotten hurt, tore his ACL or whatever, and was out for most of the year. Make, rattle, and roll. TV title matches only had 10-minute time limit. Is that what they said? Holy crap. Right hand into the bread basket. You know, I honestly don't know whose music I would prefer, Elvis or Little Richard. I might give the nod to Little Richard because his rendition of America the Beautiful at WrestleMania 10 was one of my favorites ever. But I don't really like Elvis's music very much. I don't care about it. I don't think I care about Little Richard's music either. Now, this was Kurt Cobain versus Eddie Vedder or something, and we'd have ourselves a debate, but I'm a fan of this great sport. Bobby, you're so full of shit. Who said it was the Joe Louis arena? It's the Joe Louis. Yeah, I went to a lot of Red Wings games as a kid there. Went to a lot of wrestling as a kid there at Joe Louis. Across the way over at Cobo Hall. Saw a lot of, went to like Sesame Street Live as a kid and saw all that shit there at Cobo. I miss Michigan. I mean, kind of. I miss it in my head. That's right, the shake, rattle, and roll. Me and Elizabeth were watching, sometimes for fun, we'll throw on old primetime wrestlings or something. And there was a Honky Tonk Man match on just a couple weeks ago. And he was going for the shake, rattle, roll. She's like, what is he doing? I'm like, that's his finisher. And she goes, that little thing? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's actually not a bad move, the neck breaker, the swinging neck breaker, and you bump into it. But she thought it looked ridiculous. She goes, that's a shitty move. And I'm like, well, Honky's a shitty wrestler, so. I think this is the first time I've watched a Honky match. Well, no, that would have been since he has no longer been the longest running Intercontinental Champion. Come on, Johnny B. Good right hands by Johnny. Those are connecting too. Look at Honky. It's too bad Honky and Randy Savage couldn't have a match in WCW. They missed it by 1 month. Savage was coming in. I think Savage made his debut on the day Honky left, right? Pretty sure Savage debuted at Starrcade the same day that Honky got fired. We got a new champion. Well, if there's 20 seconds, Bobby, why would we have a new champion? He's going to try to choke him. But you can't win like this. Is it just going to, the time limit's going to run out with these guys choking each other? Ooh, rolling around. 4. Nope. Nope, not going to happen. Small package, it's over. He's got him. Too late. The full extent. Draw. Damn, time limit draw. But hey, at least JBB is still, stands for Johnny B. Bad, in case you didn't know, is still the TV title. Atomic drop. Honky. This is why you suck. Yeah, that's right. Get out of here, Honky. You'll never have abs like Mero. That's the only thing that saved Johnny B. Bad from Honky was the 10-minute time limit. That's it. Otherwise, Honky would have killed him. Bobby, are you on painkillers or something? Because you're extra annoying tonight. Dumb ads popping up in what, Ryan? This video or Peacock? It's American made. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. So were they trying to? So was this basically a Nancy Kerrigan thing? Because that was the same year, right? Is that why they were doing this? Because Nancy Kerrigan got her legs bashed out from under her. That was some wild shit. I remember all that. All right, let's go to edit video. We are going to turn ads off. I'm going to turn ads off for live streams or for watch alongs. And I'm going to turn them back on once we're done with the video for on demand watching. There we go. That should fix the problem. I have all of my ads set to conservative, like low amount, low output, but I don't really know what else it does. So here's that masked man again. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I remember the masked man shit now. It's going to turn out to be Brutus, right? It's going to be Brother Brudai. I think the one where I thought where it turned out to be Flair was like the Scorpion or the Black Scorpion thing or whatever. Okay, so here it is, Atlanta, October 9th, 94. Look, there's more than one masked man. There's a bunch of them. Hogan wrestling in this little ass soundstage just always tripped me out as a fan. I forgot Sherry was a part of this too. All right, so he's ripping off. There's another one. And I don't even remember when the big Butcher reveal or the Brudai reveal happens. Ah, Ric Flair and Mr. T coming out of Michael Jordan's restaurant together in Chicago, just walking down the street like they're not going to stick out. Hogan's got a bad wheel. Bobby Heenan must have had some surgery. I don't remember what happened to him. Mr. T sold out. Well, I'm glad somebody brought up the ad thing because I'm going to do that on all of these live streams going forward, as long as I remember, because sometimes I just use my default settings, but I'll remember to turn ads off when we do watch-alongs, just so nobody gets interrupted. I'm telling you, it's worth the price of premium, man. I signed up for YouTube Premium the day it came out. I haven't seen an ad in 5 years. I don't even know what an ad is. It's so nice being able to click on any video you want, just go right to it without having to sit through that stupid shit. Pretty wonderful. So who are they facing? This must be a title match. Oh, it's is it Bagwell? Yeah, it's Stars and Stripes. It's the Patriot. We saw all these guys, I think, except for Roma. Interesting that Roma is wearing his old Young Stallions jacket. That's the same one he wore in WWE. We saw Bagwell in a tag match last year at Halloween Havoc. We saw Orndorff wrestle last year at Halloween Havoc against Steamboat, right? Last week. And Bagwell was also in a tag match. And I think, didn't they win the titles last week? Is that what we saw? They became champions, him and Scorpio? I done forgot already. It's only been 7 days. I already forgot it. Too Cold Scorpio. Ric Flair is from North Carolina and spent a lot of time there. I'm not sure if he was born there, though, Jose. Wait, no, I used to live in North Carolina. North Carolina is Flair country. That's for sure. He's billed from Charlotte, but I don't think he was born there. Lived there and might still live there. I think he does. Dorf and the Patriot. Look at these guys. This whole match is just 4 guys with bodies. It's 4 body guys. It's got to be Al Gore. Okay, what year are we in? 94? So, yeah, I guess Al Gore is vice president. Fist o' Fire. It's going to be fun 30 years from now watching wrestling shows from now and hearing them talk about pop culture stuff or who the president is or whatever. It's trippy. Yeah, Bobby Heenan doing commentary on an Orndorff match is interesting, considering all of their history. And here comes Marcus. Stars and Stripes. Holy crap. Jeez. What a great cat burglar he'd be. Oof. Mm. Mm. I don't know who wins this. I don't know if Pretty Wonderful regains the belts or if Stars and Stripes continue their run. Patriot's definitely the biggest guy. Currently the only guy on the show so far, along with Pee Wee Anderson, who is no longer with us. Bagwell's had some close calls. Roma's been MIA for a lot of years. Oh, I'm sorry. Paul Orndorff also has passed away. I visited some of Paul Orndorff's family's bowling alleys when I used to be a competitive bowler. They owned a couple down, I think, in Georgia and Florida, and I visited at least one, more than once. Paul Orndorff's son now runs his Twitter account and always posts some pretty cool memories and photos. Hey, we got a 3-0 lead for Philly. 2 5-1 teams. I wish the Lions were still 5-1, but apparently they are not. because they had sympathy for the Ravens and let them win. It was nice of them. People from Detroit are nice. Those steps, they always had awkward placement of the steps. I always wondered too about the welded. Some rings did that. See on the outside of the ring post there, they have those welded, almost look like handrails, to where if like you're running around the ring, you can grab a hold of it to swing yourself around real fast. I wonder if that's what they're there for, or if they're there for if there's more practical use for them from production. Oh, Bobby Heenan just said Ric Flair is going to win the match tonight using the figure four. Duh. Okay. Really funny, Bobby Heenan. I've been to the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit. A lot of auto industry was once a big deal. Turn off your sets. "14 months for Spaz. Holy shit." So right around the time CM Punk took a nice big juicy bite out of that muffin was when you were signing on. That's pretty cool. 14 months for Spaz. You almost had him, Patriot. You almost had him. We need a Jim Powers run in. I'm pretty sure Jim Powers worked a couple of WCW shows just as an enhancement talent. They should have got him and Roma back together. They could be like the fully grown stallions or something. I don't know. I always liked the WCW had their big logo in the ring. WWE never did that. They never wrote on the ring. WrestleMania 12. Raw Bowl in January of the same year. I think that's it. I can't recall any other time they actually put shit on the mat. Kevin, what was for dinner tonight? Well, I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's only 5:45. I had a big, nice, delicious sub from a local sandwich shop down the road that I really like for lunch today. And then I have some chicken in the fridge that I'm going to grill off, chop up, mix it with some broccoli and some pasta, a little cream sauce, Parmesan cheese. I think that's what I got tonight. Last night I made a big, giant wedge salad with a piece of salmon on top. But tonight I think it's going to be chicken pasta. Come on, Marcus. You're young, but you got a year more experience than you had last year when you were with Scorpio, and you guys were both dancing, which I still haven't gotten over yet. I'm still struggling with that. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. You know what's really good? I'm not a big fan of like jar store-bought like sauces and stuff because I'd rather like make my own. Well, making your own like Alfredo sauce can be kind of a pain in the ass, but those they're green packets, Knorr, like Knorr, they make a really good Alfredo one. You just add like a couple cups of milk and some butter to it, mix it up, bring it to a boil. You can pour it over your pot. It's actually decent Alfredo. It's not, it's not like it's not hardcore authentic or anything, but it does the job. And so I'm going to grill off some chicken on the grill, chop it up, toss it with some penne, some broccoli, dump that sauce on top, or toss it in the sauce. Dump 3.5 pounds of Parmesan cheese on top and wolf down that. That's dinner tonight. If I have baby carrots, I'm going to throw those in too, but I don't think I do. Kind of like a chicken Alfredo Primavera or something like that. I don't know. Some shit you'd find for $12.95 at Olive Garden. That's basically what I'm going to be making myself for dinner tonight. I will always give Paul Roma credit for his drop kicks. Like, the boy could jump. He's short. I'm pretty sure I got an inch or so on Roma, but I'd love to get Roma on the basketball court and see what he can do. Like, Roma had a drop kick a lot like Randy Orton, where you just have to appreciate the height achieved. You know, form wise, Brunzell, Bob Holly, others had better, but in terms of just full on athletic, what do the kids say? Hops. That's what Orton and Roma have. Spaz chiming in with $20 from Canada. Thank you, man. Hey, Greg and chat. Hope all is well. Tomorrow I got WWE last week and Halloween Havoc Night 1 preview on, and further off on November 18th, you get an NXT Rewind looking at the first TakeOver Outside Full Sail, TakeOver Brooklyn. Man, I miss those. Miss those TakeOver Brooklyns and TakeOver LAs and all that. I went to one of them. I went to War Games in LA years ago. It was awesome. When is Halloween Havoc? Is it maybe night one? Is it going to be a 2-week thing for NXT? Like, maybe is night one this Tuesday, night two the following Tuesday, which will be actually Halloween, right? I think Halloween is Tuesday this year. I might not go to work that night. So if I don't, maybe we'll do something. Do a stream or something. I'll have to see. Once everything settles at work, I'll let you guys know what's going on, but it's not bad. It's just a lot of things happening. So I'm kind of in the middle of that. So what I thought was going to be a very easy fall and winter season for me just to sit back and chill, do a lot of live streams and have a lot of free YouTube time, it's not happening. So once it's all settled, I'll let you guys know what was going on there. But it's been busy. But at least it's money, right? Ugh. Kick out. This match seems a bit on the long side, too. We had a time limit draw in the last one. I don't think they're going to do that. They wouldn't open up with a time limit draw followed by a DQ, would they? Well, WCW 94, anything's possible. Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma. I like that they're pretty wonderful, and both their names are Paul. It should be two Paul squared. I don't know. But they both had matches on my favorite Saturday night's main event episode of all time in October of 87. Orndorff lost to Bundy, and Powers and Roma lost to the Hearts. Look at that. Look at that left hand that Patriot's throwing. Holy shit. I remember once, I think it was a Patriot match now that I think about it. That's kind of ironic. When I saw him throwing them left hands, I started thinking about Vince. And I think it was Patriot, which is really ironic. I remember one match where Vince must have just learned the term southpaw or something, because he went on to refer to the Patriot as a southpaw, I shit you not, 6,045 times in a 10-minute span. I've never heard anything like it. And Vince would always be over the top with the Hitman Bret Hart, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was always, oh shit. No, they regained the titles. But I think it was like a Patriot match. The Southpaw. God, Vince, shut up. All right, so the heels just regained what I was talking about, the Patriots' left hands there. And they won again. Wonderful. Patriots trying to explain that they cheated. Just like we told you. Okay. Oh, I see. So the Patriot wasn't getting out of the ring. Roma came off with an elbow onto Bagwell, and then Orndorff was able to pin him. Yeah, okay. So Shivani's not wrong there. That was totally Patriot's fault. It was the Southpaw's fault. God, Vince is so annoying. I'm like, Vince, give it a rest, bro. Jesus, man. Boy, when somebody teaches that man a word, ugh. Look, wait, she's not sensational, sensuous? Is she sensuous, Sherry? Sensuous. Did WWE trademark sensational Sherry? Is that why they had to go with sensual? Or sensuous? Gene staring right into the camera just then was hilarious. She had a few cocktails in Hogan's trailer. Who's got the debut date on Sherry? Do we know exactly when she came in? It was definitely 93. I'd say late 93. She might have came. She been there a year by this point? Your butt and my butt? My butt is not on the line, sir. My butt is not in jeopardy. It's safe and secure. It was just so crazy seeing so much of WWF, 80s WWF in WCW at this time. I mean, even Sherry and Liz back in the same company together was just crazy. Sayonara Hogan. He's going to win back the title, and Hogan is going to have to retire. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. WCW will bring Hogan in for 3 months and then retire him. That's definitely a WWF jacket Bobby Heenan is wearing. That's a 1980s WWF jacket. That's what Bobby wore on like the Bobby Heenan show. Shivani just listening to Heenan is hilarious. But we got a tie game, Miami and Philly. I know which city I like better. That one's easy. Oh, the Sullivan brothers. Dave Sullivan was on the last. What was he? The Equalizer, right? The magic slippers. See, I talked about this last week. I'm like, Dave Sullivan almost becomes like a Eugene type character. There's Brother Brudeye already with that sourpuss look on his face. Look at him. Oh. Wrestlers, even the veterans, are way too guilty of that. I just caught Brood Eye doing it. Watch other wrestlers during a promo, especially during these times. When whoever's talking, look at the other person. You will see them mouthing the promo. Bischoff did it all the time with Hogan. On Nitro, when Hogan would be cutting his NWO promos and Bischoff would have the stick in his face, you could see Bischoff mouthing the promo. And Brutus just did it there. It's everywhere. It's impossible to miss. Just watch. It's there. Very prominent in WCW. All right, here comes the master of tasks. Like if you got a bunch of tasks, Kevin Sullivan is the one you want doing it because he's the task master. You know, it's like if we're going fishing and you're trying to bait your hook, let me do it for you because I'm the master baiter. Oh, he's going to have a brand new song? I can't wait to hear. Oh. I don't know what this is. He's the world's number one Hulkamania. He looks like the guy that sits in the front row that was in the front row of King of the Ring 93 when Hogan lost the belt to Yoko. You know what I'm talking about? That guy. That's who he looks like. He's sweating like a whore in church. So this is like a Hulk Hogan. Oh, look, there is the Hulk Hogan lookalike. He is there. I'm trying to hear this song. It's bad. I want to be. Is that what they're saying? Okay. So my biggest concern here is that a clean, uncut version of that song exists. And if I were to look it up, I could find it and hear it. I don't like that. I don't want to accidentally hear it by accident. So whatever you do, don't accidentally tweet it to me. Whatever you do, don't find the link to that song and tweet it and put it on my timeline. Whatever you do. I certainly wouldn't want you to tweet that song to @GoodMicWork on the Twitter. So don't do it. So he's got the reverse job. He's got Hogan's yellow boots, but he's got red tights instead of yellow. Oh, is that what they're trying to say? Okay. So they stole and borrowed a lot of things from 80s WWF. I'm wondering if at the time here in 94, if they were trying to make Dave Sullivan like Hillbilly Jim, you know, because Hogan befriended Hillbilly, gifted Hillbilly his pair of black boots that he wore for his whole career. And apparently the boots that Dave Sullivan is wearing right now, Hogan gave to him, claiming those are the same boots he beat Andre the Giant, or he was wearing when he beat Andre the Giant in 87. That's probably a lie, but they do look kind of old, so it could be true. I just doubt it. This is like the movie. So what happened with these two brothers here? Is it like the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito thing? Like Dave's huge. Sullivan is so small, he's the guy that poses for trophies. No, I always thought Kevin Sullivan looked like Kevin Smith. Like imagine Kevin Sullivan, but with dark hair and a backwards hat sitting next to Jay. Jay and Silent Kevin. Looks just like him. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Sherry signed in February 94, so she'd only been there for this year to feud with Missy, but remained off TV until April when Missy got fired. Okay. Interesting. Jose, Sherry debuted a long time before that. That might have been when they brought her in WWE, but she was already pretty well traveled by that point, by 87. God damn it, Ray Frand. I want to be a Hulkamaniac. I'm dancing to that tonight in the shower. Oh, yeah. What are you guys going to do to stop it? Nothing. I'm doing it. Shove a bandana down his throat. That's not nice here to do to your brother. I'm out of 805. I'm going to go get a fresh one. Take my can opener with me. When you jump off a diving board and you tuck one leg to your stomach and fall, is that called a jackknife or a can opener? What did you call it as a kid? I called it a can opener. Daniel, I know. We still have time to change next week if it's really that bad of a show, because it probably is. We can change it to another one. Should we do 92? Should we do 89? Oh, blindfolded. We've done all the other ones. Well, Dave, you idiot. A dumbass. We're just going to get. I feel like this is usually the type of thing that'll happen when you get a double count out or something. Once you see the referee start counting kind of fast, he's already up to 8. Oh, no, he's going to get back in. Dave wins by count out. Evan, why are you surprised? The whole damn arena could hear Nick Patrick counting. How did you not hear him? He's jumping up. Well, that's your own fault, Kevin. You know just how it was like the Patriots' fault in the last match? Nick Patrick is literally standing right over you counting. Are you fucking deaf? Get in the ring, you dipshit. Your brother outsmarted you. How about that? A Hulkamaniac. That's catchy. That's catchy. God, I can't believe that exists. My God. Cannot believe it. The fisticuffs began. I remember in wrestling, the first time I saw a shooting star, I was like, he did a fucking gainer. He did a gainer off the top rope. Now they're shooting stars. But back then, I didn't know what to call it. I'm like, that moves hard enough on a diving board into a pool. I was always really scared to do it because I was worried about not giving myself enough space to not crack my head on the diving board coming down. But I could do it. Look at Heenan. Except my gainer wasn't smooth. My gainer looked more like Billy Kidman's, than like a Will Ospreay or a Mark Marrow who just had a perfect one. Mine was kind of wonky. Billy Kidman does shooting stars the way Lita does moonsaults. Terry Funk and Bunkhouse Buck against Anderson and Rhodes. I love Arn. Dustin, not a fan of your outfit. Who the fuck dressed you? Helen Keller? Had the nerve to celebrate. Oh! Did he join the bunkhouse buck? Or the bunkhouse? The bunk, what are they called? The funkhouse boys? What is it? Oh, or is it stud stable? Maybe it's stud stable? The Unfunkables? I forgot what it is. So this must be Arn versus Dustin, I guess, then. Check out Ming in there. I remember seeing Ming on WCW Saturday night, turning on the TV one day and just seeing him out there. I'm like, huh, look at Haku out there. That stings. Don't. Arn's not a pussy, though. Nothing annoys me more than watching. There's nothing in there. It's like water. All the pussy ass athletes that have to wear goggles. My God, does it burn? Maybe you shouldn't be cracking open champagne if you win the division series. Champagne should be for champions only. Now you win a one-game playoff in the major leagues and they're back there spraying champagne on each other. I'm like, you ain't won shit yet. What are you celebrating? You got like 2 more series to go. It's been a pet peeve of mine in baseball for quite a while. I believe champagne baths and tarping off the locker room and putting goggles on and drinking it and celebrating should only be if you win the championship. That's it. The natural. We had to hear this shit last week, too. He wrestled Austin, right? He's the natural. 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 I just know the word natural. I don't know any other words. He's a natural. He wears chaps and a super full, colorful jacket. Luckily, he left his cowboy hat in the back because we don't want any of that cowboy hat coming on Greg's TVs because he hates that. Ugh. I've always been very anti-country music. I don't mean to offend. I'm just, it's never done it for me. I have a friend who lives in Utah. He loves 2 things. I cannot believe I'm friends with him. He loves country music and Nickelback. I know. There's no saving him, really. It's a lost cause, but he's a great guy. So I give him a pass. Is that Thomas Hearns? Thomas the Hitman Hearns. I remember them matches with Sugar Ray. Or Hearns and Hagler, I'm thinking of. Hearns and Hagler was the fight I remember as a kid. Those fights were just insane. Like, that's boxing that I still find entertaining today. Like Hearns, Hagler, Leonard fights. That's some crazy shit when you go back and watch it today. Just the energy. I don't really watch boxing much now anyway, but it's just like some of those fights were almost... Wrestling, it felt like, evolved to more wilder style as things went on. And boxing seemed like it did the reverse. Like some of the wildest shit was all in those like lightweight 80s matches and stuff. Even the heavyweights are doing crazy shit. Tyson biting people's ears off and everything. Are you crazy, Pee Wee? How many times is we've only seen Pee Wee and Nick out here so far tonight? I mean, I do like this match just for, you know, if I'm looking at this from a classic WCW nostalgic point of view. I'm watching Dustin Rhodes, the Natural versus the Enforcer with Pee Wee Anderson as a referee. Fucking Parker at ringside. That's 90s WCW right there, if there ever was. Yeah, that's right, Chris Ludek. Brett Hearns must have been on Raw, right? Because I remember Brett calling him out. There's another hitman in the crowd. That's the best Brett had. He called him the Chicken Man. I kind of remember that now. Maybe it was that summer of '97 stuff that Brett was doing. Yeah. Yeah, boxing was intriguing back then to me, even as a kid. I don't really think I had a favorite. I did like Sugar Ray Leonard. He was really hard to not like. I kind of liked George Foreman until I found out he named all his kids George. I'm like, that's just too weird. I don't like you anymore. I liked Evander. Liked Lennox Lewis. Liked Tyson when he was like kicking ass. But, you know, once he decides to rape somebody, kind of stop liking someone after that. Sugar Ray is good. Sugar Ray is good. Great fighter, terrible band. Oh. I forgot the name. I forget the lead singer of Sugar Ray. Now that we brought him up, does anybody remember back on VH1 back in the day? They used to play Rock and Roll Jeopardy, and the guy who hosted it, like either hosted Survivor or something like that, and it was set up just like Jeopardy, but it would just be rock and roll questions or answers. And Mark, Mark something from Sugar Ray was on it. And that dude was like Ken Jennings. He like tore through, just knew everything, and just beat the hell out of his opponents and went on quite the run. I always remember that. I'm like, this dude knows everything. Mark McGrath. Thank you. I was thinking Mick, but then I'm like, that's not right. I was like, Mark McNugget. And I'm like, no, it's not an MC, but it was an MC. Mark McGrath. Yes. That's right. So I don't know if you can find that old show, but I'll never forget watching it one time, and he was on it, just crushing it. The other people didn't even have a chance to ring in. He was just like, badoop, badoop. He was Gloria and White Men Can't Jump. Fucking Rosie Perez. He's in the zone. Bands that start with the letter Q, nailed it. All of them. I mean, yeah, Shivani is bringing up that Dustin could be like have a 4-on-1 disadvantage here. Wow. Wow. What a bump. WCW has the ring steps positioned in the middle of the apron, not in the corner. So Dustin took the top rope bump and went all the way over the steps. Did Shivani call them steel steps? Because I swear they were wooden. They did not look steel to me, but I could be wrong. Oh, no, they're steel. Shivani's right. He wasn't lying. Oh, yeah, Rangers. We got baseball going on, too. If I'm not mistaken, in that series, Rangers are down 3-2. So if they win this, it'll be tied. Is that right? I could be wrong on that, too. Yeah, but I used to watch Rock and Roll Jeopardy a lot. And I thought I knew shit until Mark McGrath was on there. I'm like, nope, I don't know nothing. This guy knows everything. Because I was definitely better at Rock and Roll Jeopardy than regular Jeopardy. But I'm glad I never had to play against Mark McGrath. Oh. So we're down to, so this is October 94, so that we'd be down to the final, I don't know, 7 months of, slingshot on those cable ropes too. That's extra. Dustin would be gone in about 7 months, around the spring of the following year. You had the road match with in the back of the truck with Axe, or no, Smash, and got fired or something. I think they weren't supposed to blade or whatnot. And 1 year from this moment, y'all, at In Your House, Winnipeg, that same dude right there, will be donning a gold jumpsuit, yellow face paint, and he would be defeating Marty Jannetty at In Your House. That's crazy. We are pro. Imagine a pro wrestling Jeopardy. You know, honestly, I don't think I'd be that good at it. My knowledge and stuff now comes from random memories, personal memories. I am not an encyclopedia. I can give you general ideas of stuff, but I can't give dates and location on everything, just really the stuff I remember. I know for the most part the history of the business and when things happened, but you know, I could never tell you in a million years who came in third at the last Royal Rumble. Like the fact that fans know that stuff is crazy to me. I did like a trivia thing on no DQ once. I'm like, yeah, I suck at trivia. I'll come on and do it if you want me to. But they're asking me who was the fourth person eliminated in the 2012 Royal Rumble? I'm like, I don't even know who won the Royal Rumble that year, much less who the fourth person eliminated was. So that's just not my thing. If I remember anything specific, a random date, title change, or anything specific, which I do have a lot of those facts in my skull, it's usually of a personal nature or a personal memory that I remember. There we go. Knee pads down. Oh! It looked like he was going to try to end Arn's arm. The arm of Arn. Oh. No, come on. That wouldn't even work. The leverage, I talked about that before. It used to be, and he got him. Another pet peeve is the grabbing the ropes for leverage. Oh. Dustin got turned inside out after the roll-up victory over Arn. Arn attacks, whips his ass, or starts to whip his ass. Do we get a run in here, a save? Does somebody come in and save him? Does Dusty come in? Is this what sets up the Dusty Rhodes? Or was that 93? When does the match with the Nasty Boys and Dusty and Dustin happen? Is that what this sets up? Against the Stud Stable? Help me. When does that happen? One time in recent history, somebody was like, so-and-so won his third Intercontinental title. I'm like, I didn't think he won the Intercontinental title at all, much less 3 times. Yeah. Big Brother Brudeye with his WCW headband on. What a shill. That's a whole lot of WWE in this picture right here, aside from those 3 visible WCW logos. If I had to guess, I'd say those are 22-inch pythons. Another part of this Hogan era that I didn't like, the dark eyebrows and the yellow wristbands. Hated that. He felt like a completely different wrestler. God bless his soul. I want to give props to Mr. Fuji for never leaving WWE. He never went to WCW. Every other manager did. Not Fuge. Fuge was not a stooge. You guys are trying to rekindle the shit from 10 years earlier. A-Team is long gone. Mr. T, I don't know what hell he was really doing in 1994, to be honest. Oh, what happened the previous month? Okay. Oh, yeah, Fall Brawl. I should have known that. Okay, wrap it up. Hogan, I don't know what you're talking about, but you can just stop. None of this is interesting. I'm going to win because Muhammad Ali, something, Mr. T. Hank Aaron? I used to have family that lived up in Cooperstown. So I've been to Baseball Hall of Fame a few times, and Hank Aaron's display is my favorite. I love when he does the arm thing. Ooh, yeah, show those biceps. If Hogan's got 24, I think I got 8. Maybe 9. I don't know. Not many pythons. Not many inches in my python. Actually, a 9-inch python is pretty impressive. But you guys know what I mean. Bobby. See, Bobby's doing it too. Bobby just mouthed what Tony was saying. I guess you just have to do that to know your cue. Maybe that's just a TV thing. I'm not a celebrity anymore, so I'm not on TV as often as I used to be, you know. So maybe I don't know these little tricks. Oh, this is so cool. Bockwinkel, Austin, Steamboat. You mealy mouth Hawaiian punk. Dragon Slayer. Austin and Steamboat had a couple of good matches from what I remember. This might be one of them. Watch your hands, Nick Bocke. Nicky Boy. And getting that early Stone Cold Fire here, aren't we? Oh, is this where Hacksaw comes out? Yeah, okay, I remember all this. Did we watch Fall Brawl 1994? Because we should. We have to wait till September now to do it. Remind me in 11 months. Make a note. Duggan's still in good shape at this point. Duggan and Steamboat, crazy. Yet another guy following Hogan in for a payday. Although Duggan would hang around. He'd stay there till the end, wouldn't he? Nick Bockwinkel should have had way more use in wrestling as a commissioner or a manager, because he had. It's hard to watch that. I didn't like it at the time. Duggan was in WWE all that time, never even sniffed a title. He's in this company for 6.5 seconds. He's the U.S. champion. TNA would have that same disease. Anybody that came in from WWE, up, here's our belt, enjoy. Fuck you, AJ, Samoa Joe. Everybody else that helped build our six-sided madness, fuck y'all. We're going to give the belt to Jeff Hardy. Madness. Madness. All right, Austin, get your belt back. It would be about another year-ish. He'd get hurt in a few months, be on the shelf. He'd be let go. He'd make a quick little appearance in ECW about a year from here. And then he'd be the master of rings in WWE. I hated Duggan's music here. I mean, if any guy was tailor-made and born to be the United States champion, it would be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I always liked Jim a lot. Oh, that dude that I just mentioned, he is there. I thought he was there. I thought I saw him. So the guy that looks like Dave Sullivan is also there in the crowd. That is really a funny image of that father, that black father holding up his two black sons with Hogan bandanas. I wonder what they think of him today. Because those are grown-ass men now. Those boys are probably 37 years old or something like that. They probably have a whole new opinion of the Hulkster now. But back then, that's what wrestling was all about. Dads taking their kids to shows. All right, Austin's got the early jump here on Hacksaw. Kind of forgot that they had a rematch here. I just remember with Austin, he kind of had like two squashes. He had the one with Hacksaw, and then Savage would beat him. Savage would beat him real quick on like WCW Saturday night in that stupid spinning ring thing. Like maybe near the end of the year here, one of the final things Austin, I think, did in WCW. Thank you. See, that's why you're here. We are pro wrestling. Injured in November the following month, returns in February, gets injured again in June, and was let go in September. So my timeline was about right there. Whenever I'm trying to think of when something happened, I'm always in the vicinity. I'm just never really right on it. I saw an AEW bad faith post the other day about Rampage. Man, they should really get seat fillers because it really looks amateur to have a bunch of empty seats right there on the hard cam side. I'm like, oh, you mean people haven't been going to the bathroom for fucking 50 fucking years? Jesus Christ, man. Some people got to piss. What's the big deal? We're watching WCW do the best business they've ever done in their lives in a Halloween Havoc match, and I can see 15 empty seats right there in front of the hard cam. Doesn't mean anything. This means people are getting some nachos and taking a piss. That's it. Haven't y'all ever wanted nachos and take a piss? Sure you have. Happens to the best of us. Come on, Austin. Ooh, down those stairs are just not in a good place. Like obviously you can see them. Like if you're in the ring working, you could see that they're there. But if you kind of like forget, or you're like autopilot, or you're just rolling, and you go for a big top rope bump, and you forget that the stairs are there, but you remember it in mid fall. Unless you're Darby Allin, that's some career-ending shit right there. That was his last. Oh my god, that was his last match in WCW. He was getting beat by Savage. I watched that live on TV because I was a troubled young man at that time. Not really troubled, but I was a senior in high school who was very um, affected by Macho Man leaving WWE. That was really hard for me, like really hard. I had dreams about it and stuff. Like it was really like it was surreal. I couldn't believe it. I was like, we'd already lost so many people. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I just thought Savage had loyalty. I thought him and Vince were tight. It just appeared that way to me watching TV. And that one hurt worse than any other defection, even Brett's to a degree, because Brett's had such a different situation, different circumstances. You know, Savage leaving was just still to this day the hardest defection I've ever swallowed. Nash and Razor, Diesel and Razor weren't easy, but Savage was like the hardest. As a WWE fangirl like myself. Still bothers me, to be honest. I can remember, this is crazy. I can remember a 30-year-old dream right around the time Savage left. We brought up bowling earlier too, right? I used to be a competitive bowler. And I'd spend a lot of time at my local bowling house, and you know, I had a locker there and could pretty much do what I wanted there, bowl for free, that type of thing. And I dreamt that I went there with Randy Savage, and he was wearing his full Slim Jim cowboy hat, whole thing, and we were playing pool because there was a couple pool tables in the bowling alley. So Randy Savage went with me to my North Carolina bowling alley. We played pool together, and I tried to talk him out of going to WCW. And he said, "Brother, I appreciate everything you're saying to me, but I got to go and take the money. Plus, I want to beat up Hulk Hogan, if that's okay with you." I'm like, "But you should stay in WWF. We need you." And I just couldn't talk him into it. Low blow by Austin there on Hacksaw. That's right. Come on, Austin. I want you to win the title, even though I know you're not gonna. But can you believe that shit? Having a dream, taking Savage out for some pool and some nachos, and he still won't listen to reason. And he went to WCW anyway. I remember having to go to school the next day, like bummed out that Savage didn't do what I said in my dream. Yeah, Chris, you have no idea, man. I was really bummed out. I was very sad about the whole thing. I was not liking what was happening to wrestling. The WWF that I knew and loved and grew up with was drastically changing. And even though I still had Brett, you know, it was like losing Savage was just hard. I'm like, no Raw without Macho Man and Vince? If having a Raw with Vince and Savage is wrong, then I don't want to be right. So Austin's still doing it. Austin always had his, just like Brett and a lot of guys, you know, they got their moves, you know. Austin would do his stun gun a lot in WCW. He had that classic middle rope elbow like Brett did. Brett's was better, but Austin wasn't bad. After the pile driver, Austin would no longer visit the top rope, but back in these days, he was still doing it. He could do a pretty good high cross. What's he going for? Oh, a splash. All right. He's going for the Rikishi splash. Oh my God, Austin taking an ass whooping here. It's crazy how many people are on this card in terms of the old school WWE. We've already seen Paul Orndorff and Roma and Honky and Duggan. 3 points. He's not even anywhere in a position. Oh, that's right. That's a DQ. He dove over. He tried to dive over the top rope to escape. Just tried to escape the wrath of Austin. Boy, that poor kid was trying to get his camera ready. He almost got walloped there. Because back in those days, kids, you needed cameras, actual cameras. Not everybody had a phone in their pocket. Two by four. We'll give Hacksaw props for keeping himself in pretty good shape for this WCW signing. He was in great shape here. Wow. Al Kaline. Hell yeah, Bobby Heenan, another Detroit legend. I met Al Kaline once. Or no, I didn't. Who did I meet? Maybe I did meet Al Kaline. I did. He didn't die. He might be dead now, but he was alive then. Was it him or a different Detroit legend? I'm certain it was Al Kaline. Met him in Florida, spring training. Give us the number, Gene. Oh, there goes Austin. $1.49 a minute, even 30 years ago, was kind of steep. Kids must have parents' permission. What if you called WCW and said, my kid didn't have permission? You said that he was supposed to get my permission. You made a big deal about it on your show. So the fact that he didn't get my permission, you should give me my money back. Because I'm only doing what you guys said. Did anybody ever try that? He's a man called Sting. He's in a suit. What are you doing in a tux, bro? You going to prom? I hope not. I'm telling you, when Darby Allin wrestles Sting in his last match, I think Darby should come out as Surfer Sting. He's already got the hair. Just wear some bright orange trunks and a jacket and paint a scorpion on your face. You're going to lead wrestling right on into the 90s. You're already in the 90s. You're well into the 90s. You're halfway through the 90s. You're 11 months away from starting Monday Night Wrestling. Nope. Mean Gene, they're not hanging from the rafters because that's against building codes. I looked it up. Fans are not allowed to hang from the rafters. Researched it already. Definitely not allowed. Plus, I wouldn't want to be in a building with fans hanging from the rafters because one of these dipshits falls on me. I'm going to be pissed. Ooh, what's this? Boss Man and Vader. Big Boss Man and Vader. Okay. I don't like the Guardian Angel gimmick. Never did. But like a Big Bubba or Ray Traylor versus Vader match is pretty good looking on paper for two big guys. Ha! No kidding, Chris. Oh, wait, let's watch this replay. This is Bash. Oh, we've watched this one. We watched this before, didn't we? Guardian Angel. What a weird ass. Guardian Angel's Safety Patrol. I got to get me that shirt. I need that. I wore that to a convention, how many people would even recognize it? My God. Who is this referee? I don't even recognize him. Oh, and he got DQ'd. Or no, that was Bash at the Beach. Okay, now Fall Brawl. So we're gonna get a trilogy here from these boys. We've watched a couple of these on watch-alongs, right? We might have done them both. I think we did Bash at the Beach. Oh, Harley racing with a headbutt. That's awesome. The old Harley headbutt. He was still getting physical in 94? Hell yeah. Vader bomb. No, Nick Patrick waking up. Hey, at least you don't have a mullet. Harley bumping over the top rope. The classic Harley bump. Triple H does that one. He took that from Harley. You ever wondering where Triple H got that move from? It's from the race. Wow, Vader's got his WWE gear on in there. Or kind of close to it. Oh, Race takes out the referee. All this shit's going on WCW Saturday Night. I always thought they had such a cheesy intro with like the robotic engage, ignition, and then like the door would open and smoke came out. I'm like, so stupid. I was so critical back then of WCW because I fucking hated them. I'm like, look at this crowd. There's 48 people in this audience here. What the hell's going on? I didn't understand back then what they were doing. This was just a place to produce the TV. Crowd really didn't matter to them. But it mattered to me. It's like, there's nobody there. My high school auditorium holds that many. Whoa. Oh, so this isn't the ring that turns. I think that's worldwide. Oh, Race is locked. Oh, he's got a chair. What's he going to wear out Race? Oh, my God. You just broke the chair, dude. There's a whole lot of history they're showing us in this highlight package here. Whatever happens, happens. Oh, wow. All right. So this is hopefully the blow-off here between the battle of the big men. Anyway, Chris, thank you for that $10, dude. No lie, that worked. I ran a $40 bill on my parents' phone line as a kid calling the WWF hotline. They called the phone provider and said they didn't authorize these charges, and they got it waived. That's a great idea, man. Shit. I never called any of those because I had other ways, but I called a couple of times. But most of the time, I remember telling my mom that I called and then that I would pay her because I had money. So I would give her like $3 or $4 or something if I ever called one of those, but it was always really rare. Like had to be a special occasion. One time I remember giving her money because I knew it was bullshit, but in like around the same time, WWE was doing I think it was called Greetings on Call. And they started advertising this shit where like a wrestler would call you. And I was like, immediately, I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. Nobody's calling you. So this must be, what is this? You know? And I kind of assumed that it would be like a recording of some kind, but they were like, you can get a birthday message or you can get like a friendship call or whatever. And they would like say your name. And I'm like, okay. I was just curious how they were going to do it because I knew it was going to be a work. And then if I called and ordered a Bret Hart phone call, that Bret Hart was not going to be calling me on my phone. So it was $10. And I'm like, no big deal. I went in my lunch money stash. I'm like, gave my mom $10 when the phone bill came. And I called and got like, and I remember it like scheduling you a time where they would call you back. So I set it up for whatever it was. And then when the phone rang, I answered it. And it was just a recording of Bret. But then they kind of like insert your name, just like you would listen to like an automated bank system or something. If this is Greg, press 1 or something, you know? And so it was Bret going, I would just like to thank Greg for this message or whatever. And it just kind of like spliced it into his already pre-recorded bullshit. And I remember listening, like literally doing a jerk off motion with my hand. But I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was throwing $10 away. I was just curious what I would hear if I ordered one of those. I just didn't know. I'm like, I'm curious about this. I wanted to know. So it was worth $10 was worth my curiosity. Vader is, look at how scared. Damn, that's Muhammad Ali's son. If that is his son, he looks an awful lot like him. Oh my God. Oh, Guardian Angel taking out Harley Race right off the bat. We got Sting sitting with Muhammad Ali at ringside. And Race getting taken out. We've seen Race take some bumps in that highlight package. So, all right. So this is the third, I believe, pay-per-view match between these two guys. I'm not sure. I don't remember how long it takes Guardian Angel to go to Big Bubba. He turns heel at some point. Was he a part of Dungeon of Doom too, or was he another stable? Guardian Angel Safety Patrol. That is just a trip. Did they have any matches in WWE in like nine? Well, shit, Vader probably would have been gone by then. Yeah, I guess he would have been gone because I think Boss Man came back into WWE about 4 years later, around the fall of '98. I think he turned up in the corporation, but I think Vader was gone. Vader time. Veda time. Speaking of Veda, Veda Scott, her man, Mike Bailey, apparently tore the fucking house down with Will Ospreay last night. Did I hear that correctly? I've yet to see any highlights of that match, but I have no doubt that that was a good one. God. Vader was still like kind of top notch here. He'd hang around WCW for another year, he'd be gone. Oh, what a bump. I'm wondering, so this is October of 94. I'm guessing that the Paul Orndorff fight has not happened yet. I think that might have happened the next year, or Orndorff apparently fucked him up. Oh. Oh, wow. Mm. I want to know where these fans who are in the front row getting all these great pictures. I want to know where these pictures are. Now Harley is taking a body slam, a big one. Oh, and it's this is hysterical. Race is just getting his ass kicked. Oh no. Look out, Harley. The Guardian Angel has broken bad, he said. Oh no. Oh! He just slammed Vader on top of Harley Race. Good for Harley taking all these bumps. I didn't realize he was still that physical in 1994. He's going over the top rope. Shit. That's awesome. Match of the year candidate. Are we really saying that about Ospreay and Speedball? That's awesome. I've yet to see anything, but I was seeing a lot of the reaction to it on Twitter. I'm like, good for them. I really like Ospreay. I'm in full bandwagon mode on him. I think he's our next AJ. He's our next AJ, our next Seth, our next one of those. Our next Kenny. I mean, he's already there. Feel like he's going to sign with AEW, but no matter where he goes, I think he's going to be a star either way. Because I can see WWE bringing him in full on with his name, Will Ospreay, not changing nothing. I think if WWE signed him, they'd keep him exactly who he is. I think they would treat him like AJ. I think Triple H would have that respect for him. But I feel like AEW's maybe a little bit better home. But man, he'd be a star in WWE. Oh my God, look at those. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Vader just straight up, even Sting surprised. Those were shoot punches right to Boss Man's face. He's Boss Man. He's not the Angel to me. Good grief. Oh. But to the abdominal region, kick out. Thing wearing the Oakleys. Elizabeth recently bought me a pair of Oakleys and I broke them in half by accident. I was like, okay, no more expensive sunglasses for me. From now on, $12 at my local convenience store is all I need. Fuck Ray-Bans. Come on. You guys are under? Okay, I thought he was going to try to do something to Vader. I'm like, he's not going to, not in the right position. Oh, oof, headbutts make me cringe. Damn. I'll be back in 30 seconds. I didn't miss the finish, did I? Nope. Vader bomb. Vader bomb. Almost missed the finish. And he hit it. I didn't see how it was set up. Did Harley Race help? 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out. Okay. Match isn't over. I was so worried. I was just going to say bye to Elizabeth. I thought I'd missed the finish. Got the knees up on that Vader bomb. Halftime, Philly 17, Miami 10 for those scoring at home. We are an hour and 43 in to Halloween Havoc 94. I can't believe how many pay-per-view matches they gave these guys. Good grief. Big spine buster. Wow. That was a spine buster, not a sidewalk slam. Schiavone. He used to use a spine buster. Or he always did. Vader's just big. There's a sidewalk. Spike slam, he calls that one. He had him in his spike slam. Now Harley's going to take a vertical. Oh, what a finish. Nice. I like that finish. I like that finish. Boss Man suplex Harley into the ring. And then as soon as they bumped, Vader came in with a splash, nailed Boss Man, aggressively pinned his arms down, counted 3. Good finish. That was actually executed well. Boss Man, is he in the Hall of Fame? Did we get him in yet? He might not be in. I think he should be in. Wow, that was good. Look at this. This was great. Suplex and Harley into the ring and then perfectly lined up splash there. The way he secures the arm and shoulder, that's great. That was good. Look at me being entertained by 1994 stuff. Giving it right to Sting. Vader's like, last year I was fighting Cactus Jack. Really felt like they were doing better business in the WWE, man, at this time. I hate that Chris Cruz motherfucker. Look at that little dork. Just want to wring his neck. Take those glasses off his face, shove them up his taint. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get a promo or an interview with Hitman Hearns? Okay. Okay, is the Hitman wearing pink and black, or is that orange and black? This is going to be a very big fight. It's a good fight. I'm looking forward to seeing the winner of this fight. Okay, man, a few words. He's better than Art Donovan. I'll give him that. Yeah. Amazing boxer, terrible pro wrestling promo cutter. Sorry. Not his fault. Yeah. Another hometown boy. Detroit's got a lot of great people, or Michigan has a lot of great people. Oh. Nasties are fighting next. Okay. Easy. Better behave, nasty boys. The dream and the natural and the nasties. Okay, that was at the last one. I really just don't like Brian Knobbs. He just is such a disgusting fucking slob. And he's just horrible. There's no, I mean, the shit that the Nasty Boys have done in their lives that we know about is scary and perverted enough. So who knows what some of the craziest things they've ever done. What's this? Oh, is Knobs taking a nap or something? Look at Ming. Oh my, yeah, fucking light him up, Ming. Oh yeah, looks like he's kicking his ass for real. Good. Hobbs, I don't think an hour on the treadmill every day would be a waste of your time. Let's just say that. Who they got there? Brady Boone? That looks like Brady Boone. Is that Battle Cat? Funk. It's crazy seeing Terry Funk in 94 kind of in this role. He's got that thing on his head. He's swinging. I love Terry. Jesus. Keep Terry Funk away from those kids. There's Ming finally starting to get physical for the first time. I like that Ming and Harley Race at this time were both in managerial roles. The two kings in WWE in 89 or in 88. Bunkhouse Buck. Boo. Boo. I'm with those kids. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck Bunkhouse Buck. Hmm. Yeah, WCW had the Hitman before Brett. That's crazy. Well, they were in Detroit, so that's okay. I'll give them a pass. I think my favorite Detroit native would be Bob Seger, for sure. I am a big fan. My cousin, my cousin Jill, when she had her first baby, they named him Seeger. And I'm not even sure if her and I have ever talked about Bob Seger before, or if she even knew that I liked him or whatever. But I'm like, why did you? I was like, that's awesome. Like, what made you choose that? And she goes, well, we hadn't just they didn't know the sex of the baby when they had it, so uh, when they kind of were surprised, they hadn't really thought about names that much, and then over the speaker, Bob Seger was playing, and it just came from that. They like heard the song, like, oh, it's Bob Seger, Seger, and then there you go. So that's his name, Seeger. Parents are always into naming their kids wild shit today. You don't see a 6-year-old George walking around or Vern or anything like that. Harry. Your ass matches up there. Hmm. I mean, this is like all kinds of nasty. I mean, Terry Funk can't be out nastied. It's impossible. So I don't know what the nasty boys think they're doing here. And then Bunkhouse Buck just looks like he smells like cow piss. So this is just a gross match. I think the only clean one out there is Ming. Parker's smoking a cigar. Those things smell like ass. What a smelly ass match, man. All right, before this match kicks off, I'll be back. Go get another beer. All right, got a new one here. Sorry for my absence twice now. I don't think I'll be leaving you again. Don't fret. So there's no title on the line here. So this is just a match of nasty people beating each other up. That's nice. Eat the other half of my my gummy, my adult gummy. Not Cheech and Chong gummy because I'm just not going to buy those out of principle because Chong keeps loading up my timeline with his advertisements. So, sorry, Chong. Stop being so aggressive. Did Tony reference Beavis and Butthead? What did he say? Yeah, that show, I guess, was still ongoing strong. I used to watch it. I watched it right from the very beginning. I was just old enough to where my parents, I was too old for them to tell me I couldn't watch it. Like, I was old enough to watch that stuff when it came out. So all of the backlash that I got from parents weren't from my parents because I was already a teenager and had my own room above the garage, my own TV up there, no supervision. I watched whatever the fuck I wanted. Okay. I like how Beavis and Butthead had the hippie teacher that was like, okay, and then South Park had the okay guy. There was both an okay in both cartoons. Barker and Stone and Judge. 3 fucking geniuses. Oh my God, Funk, stop doing that to your head. Here's a hit. See, this is what I meant about the Nasty Boys. There's nothing that they're going to be able to do. I am so worried about the safety of Muhammad Ali's kid. This poor little guy has been in harm's way already like 6 times. I hope they take him backstage and he gets all the pictures and autographs and food that he wants. They scared the shit out of that poor kid several times already. And now he's got Terry Funk waving a chair in front of him. Oh my God. At least Sting's out there to help protect the innocent fans at ringside. God damn. All right, that's it. It's official. On my desk here, I have one of those like extra large mouse pads because I have a couple mouses and a lot of shit going on. It's so fucking dirty. I'm going on Amazon right now. I'm buying another one. My mouses need a clean field to roam in. They're busy mouses. They're always editing something. Oh, hey, members and Patreon people. Guess what? I thought of something to put on the channel. I still have a bunch of queued up reactions that I'm working on when I find time, and I'm just uploading those when I have time to those platforms. But remember my old WrestleMania Memories video that is up on the channel right now, but it was a re-upload and I had to take out all the footage and replace it with stills. But that original video that was well on its way to getting millions of views before YouTube took it down, I have it. I can just put it up on Patreon. I will give the link to the members on a member post once I do that. But it's 6 hours long, so it'll take me a while to upload that, probably. But I'll get it up there and provide you guys a link just for extra bonus content for anybody who wants to reminisce. No, Juliet, my mouse is perfectly clean. It's the pad. It's filthy. I eat on it. I do other things on it. It just gets dirty. What's he got? The glove? It's to protect his hand. That's all it is. You don't want to punch somebody in the face. Okay, there's a fruit fly buzzing around me or a gnat or something. Dirty mouse pads, fruit flies. This place is a mess. Oh, he's got a pumpkin. Oh, Ming shot to... oh, please tell me they're put the pumpkin head on Funk. You have to. I'll drive around the pumpkin. Oh, that was great. It shattered. He middled it. He absolutely middled the pump. I love it. Perfectly middled. Exploded equally in all directions. That's exactly how you want to execute a pumpkin pile driver. Young kids, aspiring wrestlers, when executing a pumpkin pile driver, always look back to this as the textbook way to do it. Use of a foreign object. Of course, Funk is selling the pumpkin like no other. Nobody can put a pumpkin over the way Terry Funk can. He's rolling backwards down the stairs. Oh, he's so great. Well, that whole match I didn't care about at all, except for the last 30 seconds, which was superb. This is so great. Look at this by Sags onto Funk. Look at this perfectly executed. Boom. Well, at least he sat on his ass perfectly, but maybe he didn't hit it as well. So now you got pumpkin residue in the ring. So whoever lays on that mat now has to smell the pumpkin residue. Oh, is it time for the main event already? Is this going to be a long-ass match? Thank you for the answer there on the Boss Man Hall of Fame 2016. Okay, I guess I remember that, kind of. That makes me happy. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I was always drawn to Ray Traylor. I had a lot of friends that like looked and sounded like him. Maybe not as big as him, but just that Southern country boy thing. I had a lot of friends like that, and I felt like if I knew Ray Traylor, we'd be friends. So I always heard nice things about him. I always heard that he was like real dumb, but in a kind of a sweet way. That makes me laugh. All right, so we're going to do something for Muhammad Ali before the cage match. Oh, look at Bischoff. Bill, every time you turn up on TV, you creep me out. Same with Jim Barnett. It's tough to see Muhammad Ali like this. I mean, he was really, deteriorating health-wise and with his condition and stuff. But he was still doing shit. He was still going places and doing what he could. He's a native of your great city of Detroit. What's funny is if Tony Khan brought out some superstar legend athlete and presented him with something on a pay-per-view, Eric Bischoff would have a huge problem with it. He'd have all sorts of shit to say about it. Garen goddamn Teed. Bet the farm. I don't know if that's the way a promoter should behave, or I don't know. He'd make up some shit. I'm like, bitch, you did it. Oh, so we talked about this too. Last week, we talked about Jesse and Tony maybe being the only duo to call by themselves and by themselves only a WWE and WCW pay-per-view. Heyman and Ross might be another one. But these two, they didn't call a pay-per-view in WWE, but I bet they called shows. The Yankees weren't 11-time champions by then? The Celtics won like 36 of them by then, didn't they? Something crazy like that. Do we get Buffer tonight for this one? Are they chanting Hogan sucks? Mr. T shilling for the crowd or catering to the humanoids. Look at this shit. He's wearing a Detroit Red Wings jacket and a Detroit Tigers hat. Cheap pops from Mr. T. That mohawk isn't quite as pronounced as it once was. Mr. T, the referee. That jacket doesn't look like it breathes very well. It's crazy that WCW gave us, like, WWE had Hogan and Flair at the same time. But WCW was the one that gave us the feud, like the real feud. Sensuous Sherry. Sensuous Sherry cracked me up. I mean, I'm guessing Sensational Sherry was trademarked. But Sensual Sherry or Sensuous Sherry wasn't, or... That's one thing, one name I'm surprised. Like, Hacksaw Jim Duggan got to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Because I thought she was already sensational before WWE. I thought in AWA she was already sensational. So I don't know. I don't know why she had to be sensuous here. Feels like of all the other people, Honky Tonk Man, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, all the other people that were over there with their shit, what happened to her? My favorite Flair robe. That's a cool one. Is that the one WWE would try to find in that Treasures show? I think that robe that Flair's wearing might be in possession of WWE now. I thought Real American in WWF was way better than this song. He's got the red. If you got red, white, and blue running through your veins, I would go to the doctor. Because that can't be good. That should be a pretty good sign of trouble in your health. Well, Doc, the thing is, I got red, white, and blue running through my veins. Well, for fuck's sake, get this guy into surgery. The hell are we standing around for? Oh, there's his friend. Oh, that's got to feel so good for him. A year and a half earlier, that man right there in the crowd was devastated, heartbroken, guts on the floor when he had to watch Hulk Hogan lose to Yokozuna at King of the Ring. And I always thought it was so funny that he was out there with that look on his face. I'm like, this dude bought a front row seat, dressed all up, thinking he's watching, Hogan fresh into his new WWF title run. Instead, camera blows up in his face. Yoko squishes him. Next thing you know, Hogan's gone from WWE, and that poor guy was left wrecked. And here he is, gets to have that wrong righted and get a pick with his bro. Happy for him. Oh, Mr. T with the big gold. He was born and raised in the US of A. I don't get national pride. You can't help where you're born. Why is it like required that you're proud of it? I'm fortunate I live where I live. I'm not walking around like it's some accomplishment. It's like whatever piece of dirt you landed on when you slid out of your mom has nothing to do with you. So why so proud? Yeah, let's get ready to rumble from Boofer. I mean, I wonder how many times in total Michael Buffer has announced Ric Flair to the ring. I think if I just randomly were to think about Michael Buffer's voice, I would hear Ric Flair's theme in the background. Like, that's how synonymous the two feel to me. Even though it's very possible Buffer has announced more people than Flair to the ring. Look at that lopsided ass shit. Straighten your shit out, man. WCW was doing this before WWE. They were still doing the blue bar at this time. Look at this cage. What is happening? Imagine if you saw this shit on Dynamite, how fucking the outrage you would see from fans. This is some fucking Bush League shit right here. Straighten your cage out. Holy crap. They didn't have that system perfected yet. I mean, it's quicker than assembling the blue bar in WWE. They wouldn't start lowering their shit for a couple more years. But that was super sketch. Oh my God. It doesn't even have the support things around the top. They just lowered this thing down, and luckily nobody lost their life. WWE always, no matter how bad they're getting their asses whipped by WCW, they always had better production and just better overall. That would never happen with Vince. Vince wouldn't be lowering down a fucking lopsided cage coming down at a 32-degree angle. Like, no. He'd spare no expense on having that look right. All right, Mr. T. T, I would recommend not wearing that jacket, bro, because you're under the lights and that's going to be wicked hot. Hogan going right after Flair. T getting in the middle. Don't make me pity the fool already. Hogan and Flair cage match. Hogan or Flair completely no selling those punches. Big backy. Flair always did that sideways bump on the backdrops, or on every bump pretty much. Oh, we got a tie game over there, 17-7 as Hogan rains blows on Flair's head. Oh, and stomps him too. Jesus, man. Oh, Mr. T pushing Hogan. This ain't Saturday Night Live. The humanoid fans. God, even though Bobby Heenan's in a different company now, he is still riled up as hell whenever it comes to Ric Flair. He's already got a neck brace on, and he's hoarse. And he's just losing his shit even more. Hogan tried to rake the back. Flair no-sold that too. He might have just bladed right there. Yeah, I feel like Flair bladed there when he was bumping. He ran his hands across his face a couple times. No, maybe not. All right. There's Nick Bockwinkel with the title. That's kind of cool to see him holding the big gold. I'm such a Nick Bockwinkel fan. He was tremendous. I liked him every bit as much as I liked Ric Flair. You're a 5-star restaurant of wrestlers. Damn. Jesse. Or I'm sorry, Bobby. Bobby is monologuing there. Fucking Hearns would knock the shit out of Mr. T. Clubber Lang. I mean, what was Mr. T even doing? I mean, hell, I don't even remember him doing anything after WWE. After 86. After the boxing match with Piper, what was he doing on TV? A-Team was running out by that point. I don't remember him doing anything at all in the 90s other than just appearances and things like that. So Mr. T was kind of not really a name in 94 anymore. He was about 8 years past him doing anything. He never reappeared in any Rocky movies. Oh, Hogan followed in. Oh, Hogan's going nuts on the cage. Don't be careful, Hogan. You might break it. Flair taking another bump in the cage. Oh, he's going to ram him. Flair. Now he might be blading. Yeah, Flair's definitely blading now. Because if that wasn't a blade, then there must be a no blood rule in WCW because Flair's trying to get out of there. Okay, it looks like Flair still ain't bleeding. I thought for sure twice he was blading. He fooled me. He might not blade though, because Sherry might have to have something to do with it because I just can't see Mr. T being the one to pass it to him. So he's either got to have it on him. We can give it to him. Maybe it's under Hogan's wristband. Maybe they don't bleed at all in this match. Maybe there's too many things happening, like celebrities and too much exposure, so they don't want blood in this match. I do remember listening to this scrambled. I listened to Hogan's win over Ric Flair at Bash at the Beach scrambled too, on both of them. And this one, I kind of already felt like Hogan wasn't going to lose this. Yeah, I think when Ric Flair in a cage match, I just kind of instinctively just assumed that there was going to be bloodshed. But yeah, maybe not. Not in 94. Not when WCW was starting to become a factor. They were doing good business at this time. This is a near sellout here at Joe Louis. 14,000, I think they said, for this thing. Business was hot. New eyeballs on the product. There was no reason for Ric Flair to spill a gallon of blood. Nice. I don't know what Flair's trying to do. Oh, here we go. Boom. Well, this match is definitely better than the Hogan Piper match from 97. Oh. I can think of about offhand without my WCW history is not as sharp as WWE's, but I can think of off the top of my head at least 5 Hogan cage matches on pay-per-view. This one, he'll work Vader later. He did another one with Flair, right? And like uncensored in like 99 or something. That was a cage match, right? Double turn type of thing. So there's that one. There's a big crazy straw cage that him and Macho Man took on 48 guys in. So that's like 4. Oh. And the one with Piper, that's 5. He probably had one with Savage in there somewhere. So I can think of 5 offhand. Hogan pay-per-view cage matches alone. It's probably in a War Games, right? He was a War Games the following year, so that's 6. And I might be missing one. But Hogan liked to have a fence around him on pay-per-view. Big backdrop. Oh. Oh, Alan Carter, Mr. T guest starring on an episode of Martin back in 96 or 97 after Havoc. That's cool. I didn't watch enough of Martin. I watched a little bit of Martin. I really like Martin. And anytime I meet anyone named Gina, it's always damn Gina. Damn Gina. Say it to all of them. I know like 4 Ginas, and I say it to all of them, and they all hate it. I really like Tisha Campbell. Mr. T, Nick Patrick is a better counter than Mr. T. It's one thing I don't like about guest refs is sometimes they don't get the flow right. Shivani is trying to explain this, that he's not a seasoned referee. He's only been lightly salted. Oh, God. I don't want to see. That would be an interesting concept on a Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble where the same rules apply, but there's a cage around the ring. You have to throw your opponent over the top of the cage into the floor to eliminate him. Why haven't we done that yet? What would you call it? I mean, besides Cage Royal Rumble, I mean, something better than that. Intentional prison break. I don't know what you'd call it. You come up with something. Oh, he's going after the legs. Vintage Flair. TD Philly looks like they're going to be taking the lead. They are at home, right, Philly? Oh, I'm familiar with Martin. I just haven't. I never watched it religiously. But if I was like channel surfing and I saw it, I'd stop. I like Martin. I miss Martin Lawrence. I really liked him. He was like one of my favorites. Like I like somebody like Martin Lawrence way more than like a Kevin Hart. Martin was just super funny. Cage of Elimination. There you go. The Elimination Cager. That would be good. God, I've never really seen Hogan's shit. Oh, yeah, Mr. T. Maybe Mr. T's wearing the jacket because he does look like he's put on some weight. T. That's to be expected. I honestly don't think T's doing a terrible job of being a referee. He's paying attention. He's not out there sleeping. Like, he's getting in faces. He's sweating. He's intense. So props to T for not walking through this. He seems to kind of understand what his job is. Sometimes when you get a celebrity in there, they don't know what the fuck's going on. T's doing good. Props to this year WrestleMania too. Snoop jumping in there and taking care of business when Shane blew his knee out. Oh my God, figure 4. I think T just used that Hogan shirt to wipe his face off. Get it ready, Gary Michael Capetta. Oh, look at Hogan grabbing Mr. T. You can't grab me, boy. You got the figure 4, man. You got nowhere to go. You got to submit, Hogan. Even in WWF days, you never really saw Hulk Hogan hulk up out of a submission. It was always a kick out, then he'd lose his shit. But now he's hulking up here in the figure 4. He's alive. He's alive. Good for Mr. T. I'm glad he's doing good things. I'll never forget him getting pissed on the Howard Stern show. Oh, look out, T. I feel like, oh, there he goes. I didn't know Mr. T takes a bump. Is that his first bump in 8 years? Holy shit. And he's down. Oh, so he's gonna have Hogan pinned here. But T's out. Oh no, Hogan kicked out anyway. And he landed on T. Oh my God, now he's stomping T. Now what happens? Is this an escape the cage rule too? Jerry's coming in. Jimmy's going after her. Oh my God. Jimmy, oh my God, he is getting her down from there. Oh no. Oh, okay. This match took an unexpected, awesome turn. Look at Jimmy. What the fuck happened? Yeah, Jimmy has obviously never held a women's garment before. I don't know. She's getting back in there, though. I was about to say, because in a shoot, Sherry'd whoop her ass. Oh, Mr. T's, or Sting's stopping her. Excuse me. Sting is there to pull her down. I want to see her get in. Oh, there is the masked man. Oh. Jimmy Hart getting worked, too. Oh, my God. She's going to dive off that? Look at this woman. Sherry is amazing. She dove to the top of the cage. Oh, wow. Right on, Sherry. I approve of this. We're going to handcuff Mr. T. I don't even remember any of this. Sherry isn't just in full-on lingerie in the ring. They're handcuffing T. Now they're working over Hogan. They're going to double team him into the ropes. Oh, as he runs into the... Like, they got... What is the point of ramming his face into a steel pipe when you're in the steel cage? But he would have ran into steel anyway. Shivani's like, he ran him into the steel pipe. I'm like, even if the steel pipe wasn't there, Hogan would have still hit steel. He'd hit the steel support, which is a steel pipe. He was holding it right in front of the already existing steel pipe. The fuck? He's up. Look out. Bobby's doing a great job of selling all this. No, they're going for it again. Double closey. Oh, look at that. Scoop slam on Sherry. Right on. Look, that girl is so great. She's out there taking bumps. Love that woman. She's just like Medusa. They don't give a fuck, man. Sherry taking clotheslines. Hogan's going through his moveset on Sherry. He's doing his hulking up moveset on sensational Sherry. What are you going to do to Sherry? He likes to atomic drop Sherry, so let's see if he does that. Nope, he's going to throw her right into Flair. Nope, or down. Sherry's got her ass whooped in this match. This match has been Hulk Hogan versus Flair and Sherry in a handicap match. Oh, now he's ramming Flair hard. I had no idea Sherry got this involved. Her or Harley Race tonight have been phenomenal, both of them. Up, Sherry's going for the ride again. Boom. He big boots Sherry. Oh, I can't get over this. This makes it worth it. I'm so glad we watched this one. I didn't know Sherry gets in a full-on match with Hulk Hogan. Oh, he does the U. Here comes Flair. Now the typical bullshit here. Is T going to count this with one hand cuffed? Yeah, Hogan, you got to hit the right one. Oh, yeah, so he can do it. Put him in a position. Count. 1, 2. That's the first time I've ever seen a wrestler look at the ref's count when they get pinned. Flair was looking the way he was going to get, like he was going to kick out. So despite getting beat up and handcuffed, Mr. T is still able to count the fall. Hogan retains. Flair must now retire. You are mistaken. I mean, it felt kind of like a Hogan and T tag match at the end there, only with T handcuffed. And the way Hogan was just taking it to Sherry. He hit her with a suplex, body slam, scoop slam, big boot, clothesline. He did everything in the world to Sherry Martel. That was the best thing I've ever seen. I think Sherry and Hogan were always cool. They did a lot of business together. But wow. I thought he would just kind of like try to defend himself from her. I didn't know he was going to be delivering offense to sensational Sherry. That's why Sherry's the best. So there's 10 minutes left in the show. Does something happen? Is this where they do the Brood Eye reveal? It must be. Is this where they do it? Because that's our Starrcade match, right? So if it's going to be Hogan and Brutus, don't they need to set that up? It's October. It's late October. Like, is that masked dude going to come back in? They were letting a lot of people leave the arena, so that might be something that happens on TV later. Is there no? There's no way we're doing 10 minutes of posing. Are we? Yeah, Flair's retirement was not long at all. Oh, Heenan's been sobbing and weeping this whole time, I guess. So maybe what happened here, here's a guess. Maybe, well, I don't know what they're going to do yet. Here, okay. So he's back, okay. Hogan, turn around. He's got a fucking baton for you. How dumb are you? Oh, he stopped him. Oh, this must be where he reveals him. Pull it off of him. What a bump. It doesn't really look like him there, but I'm like, I know it is. It's Arn Anderson. Oh, no, that's him. It's Brother Brudeye. This was the worst. Starrcade at the time was their biggest pay-per-view, and this is what they tried to go with, Hogan and Brudeye. It's his close friend. They weren't like Mega Powers friends. They were just like friends. They teamed a little like in '89. They wrestled a couple times in the early '80s when Beefcake was a heel. So it's not like this is his lifelong brother turning his back on him or something. It's just a dude he rode with for a couple years. That's it. I love seeing Earthquake and Hogan. That's crazy too. That's funny thing is that's Earthquake's trunks because it has the Richter scale thing on it. Unless you maybe measure avalanches like that too. I don't know. But that's like the same gear. Is this his debut? Is this Tenta's debut? Now you can hear Shivani over the main speakers now. So this is really when, I guess, when Dungeon of Doom gets super cooking. They got Taskmaster out there. Avalanche. I guess he was already Avalanche by then. When did he become Shark? Oh, wow. Sting's out to help, finally. Sting looks great in a tux. He's out there in sunglasses and a tux beating the shit out of people. That's why Sting's awesome. What a catastrophe. I remember at the time not really giving a shit. I'm like, so Brutus, whatever. I always liked Beefcake. I thought he was super over, but after that accident, and then when he kind of came back in WWE in '93, it just wasn't the same. I wasn't really super invested in him or anything like that. So it certainly was no different here in WCW. But it's like, WCW maybe they didn't know what to do with all of these names that they suddenly had, all of these recognizable people from wrestling's past that are now here. That's why they were putting over Duggan so quick and giving Brutus a Starrcade main event. When there was lots of other people that would have been cool to see Hogan face instead, they went with Brutus. Yeah, still 2 full years before NWO stuff would start. Or the Sting NWO stuff would start. And Sherry just gets completely disrobed, but still gets up there and gets in the mix. Ugh. The whole day, the whole night, never had a snack, nothing. There's no phones back then. You literally just had to sit there. See, watch Flair. See how Flair watches T's hands? Looked like he was going to kick out. Oh my God, Heenan. Heenan's crying. He'd be back in 8 weeks? Ric Flair? Well, that was pretty stupid, though. Hogan yanked the mask off and then just decided to do a little walk around before looking at who it was instead of ripping the mask off and looking right directly down. He's got to be dramatic about it. So you got what you deserve there, Hulk. Always got to be so dramatic, don't you? Can't believe my 5-year friend, Brudai, turned on me when I've had Paul Orndorff, Andre the Giant, Randy Savage, all of these other people in my life that I was closer with than you turn on me. I'm shocked by this. These announcers are shocked by this. Come on. This is standard practice with Hulk Hogan. Anybody he aligns with turns on his ass because he's insufferable. He's tough to be friends with. Oh my God, Heenan is the best. He can't compose himself. Good night. Excellent. Heenan, thank you for making this pay-per-view watchable. Same to you, Sherry. Way better than I thought. I thought this was going to be a stinker. It wasn't. I thought this one was okay. Next week, I think, is going to be a stinker, 1999. But we'll be back on the podcast tomorrow. If maybe we could still have time to switch this thing if we want. Otherwise, I think we should suffer through that, have some fun, and see exactly how bad that show is. But this was fun. Really enjoyed it. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm going to get out of here, make some dinner. Game is still on. Right? 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter there. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow night after Raw for another one. We'll talk about whatever goes down on Raw tomorrow and any other wrestling news. There was a lot going on with Impact switching back to TNA and Collision results. We'll get into all of that tomorrow. It should be fun. So join us just a few minutes after Raw goes off the air, and we'll be here to talk about it. Have a good rest of your Sunday night.